Welcome back to the Bright Light Wellness YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here. Today, I want to have a quick chat with you guys about antioxidants. Okay, so you might have heard of the term antioxidants before, right? Antioxidants means anti, right? Like we want to stop oxidation, right? Um, Oxidation is oxidative stress, reactive oxygen species. It's another word for inflammation, right? So it's like a way to squelch inflammation or stop an inflammatory response is to use antioxidants, right? If you listen to my other video on redox, you'll understand that redox stands for reduction and oxidation. And when we think about redox potential, it's how well can our body squelch inflammation or remove inflammatory responses, right? We remove this inflammatory response through our body's ability to use the electrons that we gather from nature, sunlight, earthing, movement, and food, right? We take our mitochondria, this is depending on how well our mitochondria are functioning. We take that electrons, right? And our mitochondria have to use those electrons to push through the electron transport chain, right? And to help us heal and rejuvenate, right? And our redox potential is how well can we do that? How well can we take those electrons, use those electrons to support our healing, to support our repair, and to squelch inflammation in our body, right? Because our body's always going to get inflammation coming at us one way or another, from things in our environment, but it's like, how well can we stop that inflammatory process is basically our redox potential. So a lot of people will say, okay, you need to take some antioxidants, right? You're going to take some glutathione. You're going to take these supplements that are going to help you, or take melatonin or things like that to squelch inflammation, right? It's an antioxidant you could take internally, like a supplement. Now, me, I'm not a big fan of that. That is not something that I recommend, nor do I use on myself or recommend to clients. I'm not really a big fan of supplementation. I'm not really a big fan of using antioxidants. In fact, you can overdo taking like vitamin C as another antioxidant. You can overdo taking antioxidants and actually cause dysfunction, because having oxidative stress is a normal, I just want to say this again, it is a normal process in the body, right? When inflammation gets, chronic or dysfunctional, then that's abnormal, right? But having some oxidative stress happen in the body is normal. Then the body's job is to come in and squelch inflammation, right? And we do this in many ways, and I'm going to explain a few of those ways in just a minute. But this process is normal. And if you're overtaking antioxidants, you can dysregulate that whole system. I always ask myself or tell my clients, I'm like, did nature intend for this? Like, did it intend for you to take a bunch of antioxidants and supplements? No. Now, some people also say, oh, okay, we wanted to get our antioxidants from food. I mean, this is better, okay, than using a supplement. So you can, people say you got to eat a lot of blueberries or, omega, like a wild caught fish and things like that. Okay, this is better. And I'm a big fan of wild caught fish and blueberries when they're seasonally appropriate. But again, whether or not it's in season and local to you is going to have a big impact on your on your mitochondria, right? So this is not my first go-to is food, right? As an antioxidant, and the amount of blueberries you need to eat to actually squelch inflammation is kind of excessive. And then you're dealing with oxalates and you're dealing with other plant toxins and whether people can absorb and utilize it. So when I want to help people reduce oxidative stress, reduce inflammation, my go-to is I use nature. Did you know that that's possible, that you can use nature to reduce inflammation and to have less oxidative stress? And nature can help us upregulate certain processes that actually help us have more ability to use certain antioxidants that we naturally make. So there are three of them. Three ways is sunlight on the skin, earthing, and maximizing our melatonin, which is through light, which is through our light environment. Okay. So these are all to do with nature, really basically sunlight and earthing. So let's go through this so we understand, right? So as I said before, we can endogenously make our own antioxidants through being in nature. Nature can help provide us with antioxidants. Okay. So again, redox, reduction and oxidation. When we have enough electrons, we are reducing inflammation. When we don't have enough electrons, we're living in a more oxidative stress and we're taking on too many things that are depleting our electrons. Okay. I have another video on that on redox, and I talk about what depletes electrons and so forth. Okay. News spoiler alert, it's anything that's not from nature, basically, and stress. So first way let's talk about is earthing. Okay. So if you want to use a very potent antioxidant to reduce your oxidative stress, you need to get outside and earth. Okay, what does that mean? What does earthing mean? So earthing means that I'm not earthing right now because I'm on a deck. Okay. So I can't earth right now on this deck because it's made out of wood. Wood is dead. And if I go over to my grassy patch over there and I take the palms of my hands or the soles of my feet and I place them on the earth, I'm going to absorb this net negative charge that the earth holds of free electrons. Okay. The earth is full of a net negative charge and free electrons. It's also full of important frequencies that help align my body's circadian biology and circadian rhythm. Okay. But I'm going to gather these electrons into my body through the palms of my hands or the soles of my feet or any part of my skin. Those just happen to be the most absorbent. Okay. Us in these northern latitudes, like I live in New York, are going to have more magnetism. Okay. And there's less at the equator because they get more sunlight. So the earth kind of balances all this out. And you will have more magnetism at sunrise and sunset or as well. So how can you earth? You can earth on grass, you can earth on the beach, you can earth on dirt, you can earth on rocks, you can touch a tree. The bark is kind of like the skin, so there's a little bit of a barrier there, but you could touch, if I go touch some of my plants I have here, just touching them, I'm earthing. Swimming in natural waters. You even earth under, like in your shower, under your faucet. When you're washing dishes, you can be earthing because the water is usually grounded, so and water is conductive. So there are so many different ways you can actually earth on concrete, as long as or pavers, as long as there's nothing, like there's no they put these barriers in it, like the sealers, they can put a barrier there. So there's lots of different ways that you can earth. Okay. Now, when you earth, again, you're going to increase your electron flow. They're going to come into your body. And now these electrons are what we call a selective antioxidant. Selective means that it's going to go wherever you have inflammation in your body. These electrons are going to flow in and they are going to go to that inflammation source and they are going to squelch inflammation. If you want to read an amazing book, Earthing by Clint Ober is a great book to read on earthing. You can also read the Mitochondriac Manifesto on earthing. The section on earthing there is great as well. But earthing is a potent antioxidant and a potent way to gather electrons and a potent way to reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the body and help us heal and repair. You really can't overdo earthing. The only time you want to be cautious with earthing is when you're in an environment that has a lot of non-native electromagnetic frequencies that are being absorbed through the ground. Okay. Best to earth in places that are away from these frequencies, if possible. Okay. So earthing is one. If you have chronic inflammation, it's something you want to do every day and you want to do it several times a day as much as you can. All right. The next one is sunlight on the skin. And this is going to be two different ways, but let's talk about melanin. Okay. Melanin is the dark, first of all, you have to be exposed to UV light to make melanin. Okay. UVA and UVB make melanin. Okay. Mostly UVA. And you need to learn how to use sunlight as medicine or use sunlight in a healing therapeutic way. You can't just jump out in sunlight. Okay. I have courses to help you with that. I have the Get Your Light Right ebook that will help you and give you the sunlight protocol. Of course, you can work one-on-one with me, or you can work with me through group coaching, or I also have personalized healthcare plans. There's lots of ways you can work with me, link below. Just check out my website, brightlightwellnesscoach.com. Now, when sunlight strikes your skin, and you precondition your skin with sunrise light and you're outside in the UVA light, your body is going to, when you don't have any sunblock on or sunglasses either, your body's going to build what we call melanin. And this is the dark or tanning of the skin, the pigment of the skin, the eyes, the hair. You see that, right? So we build that melanin externally on our skin, but we also build it internally in our cells, and it's used for a lot of functions there. Now, if you build that melanin on your skin, one thing that will happen is as you absorb this melanin on your skin, what happens is that sunlight striking your skin will actually charge the water, okay? And it charge separates this molecule, the water molecules in your body. And what it does is it makes molecular hydrogen. So it charges and separates the water, and it makes molecular hydrogen. And molecular hydrogen is a very extremely potent antioxidant. So again, you are making this potent antioxidant by getting sunlight on your skin. Now, that antioxidant is also selective. So it is going to go wherever needed. It's going to donate electrons. We call that an electron donor. Melanin is an electron donor. Earthing is an electron donor. It's going to donate electrons, or AKA energy, for your cells wherever you need them to go. So it will help reduce inflammation in the body just by having a tan and by getting outside and getting sunlight on your skin. Okay, so we have earthing and we have melanin. Now we're going to talk about melatonin. Different. My boys get this mixed up all the time. Melanin, the tan that you have on your skin, melatonin is a hormone that we make, also a very selective antioxidant. I think of melatonin and vitamin D as kind of like, they both work very similarly in the body, and vitamin D is an important antioxidant we need and hormone during the summer, and melatonin is our maximum winter hormone that we need to support our health and our healing. But melatonin is made via the skin as well, okay, and in the eyes. So when you're outside in sunlight, and this is where you don't need direct sunlight. I'm actually melatonin maxing right now. With melanin, the tanning, you need to be in direct sunlight. Like my skin needs to be building melanin through direct sun exposure. But if I want to make more melatonin, I actually don't need to be in the direct sunlight. Because melatonin I can be making through infrared light, exposure to infrared light. So me just sitting outside here in the shade, the infrared light bounces off the greenery in my environment and reflects back to me. And that helps me make subcellular melatonin, which is not the melatonin that makes you feel sleepy. It's the melatonin that helps your cells repair and rejuvenate all day long. So you want to be, this is a major antioxidant and squelches inflammation again in the body. So you want to be being outside in both sunlight, but also there's a huge benefit to being outside in shade also, because you're going to be getting a lot more melatonin subcellularly working, okay, in your body to squelch inflammation. Again, and that be selective. It'll go where your body needs, okay, where there's inflammation. Now, there's another kind of melatonin your body makes. I have a video on melatonin, I believe, but melatonin, you have two of them. You have, I think there's more, but there's two that I'm very well aware of and understand, which is subcellular. It's made in response to near infrared light, okay? When you're exposed, near infrared, by the way, is literally available from sunrise to sunset. You can get it all day long. You cannot get it inside unless you open your windows, okay? Because it's blocked by our modern glass. You have to be outside. You can be wearing clothing and still get it. The infrared light, okay? So that's one way. We have subcellular melatonin through infrared light. And then there's also pineal gland melatonin. Now, this melatonin is made in response to UVA light, really through the eye. So you need to have your eyes exposed to UVA light. That's about 45 minutes after sunrise or so. And if you go outside at that time, in your eyes, this triggers a response, okay, to take your tryptophan that you've been making or eating or having in your system, okay, it takes that molecule tryptophan. And when that light shines, and it has this beautiful benzene ring, and it's like a light trap. It catches the light, the sunlight, the UV light frequencies or photons, and it traps it, and it takes that tryptophan that you had and converts it into serotonin. And that serotonin is healing for your gut and your mood and anxiety levels and all kinds of things. And then when you body recycles that serotonin later on at the end of the day to use as pineal gland melatonin, which is only secreted at night in the presence of darkness for a few hours. So if you want to secrete melatonin at night, you have to be blocking artificial light at night. And you have to be doing this as soon as the sun sets, because your body will then wait a few hours. Body's like, oh, it's getting dark now. We're going to take that serotonin we made earlier in UVA light, and we are going to now turn it into melatonin from my pineal gland. And that's going to help Vanessa, that's me, rest, repair, and rejuvenate overnight while she's sleeping. Okay. So melatonin, infrared light, UVA light, block artificial light at night. That's how you melatonin max, okay? And you get as much as you can to help your cells heal and repair. Like, we always have cancer cells popping up. Melatonin's job is to go in there and stop that from happening. It's what we call autophagy and apoptosis. Autophagy is cellular repair, and apoptosis is cellular death. That's when we get rid of those cancer cells that we don't need. And melatonin is in charge of that. So you want to be getting as much melatonin, or having your body endogenously make as much melatonin as your body can. And you don't want to do this in a supplement unless it's in a rare case where I do recommend supplementation for somebody who's really struggling. It's a very rare case though. It's better to make this endogenously so you don't downregulate any processes of your body to make this in the future. Okay, so that's my 3 ways to help your body from nature build antioxidants. Okay, you'll get more antioxidants from nature than any supplement or any food that you ever ingest. Okay, earthing, sunlight on the skin, build your solar callus, get a tan, get your melanin on, check out my offerings if you need support there. Okay, and be outside in nature. Infrared light, sauna, of course, helps. Red light therapy helps as long as you have infrared in those things. If it's not an infrared, it's not going to work. It has to be infrared. Okay, and then you also can get your blue blockers on. Get out in UVA light, get your blue blockers on at night, and block that artificial light at night. If you do those 3 things, excuse me, if you do those 3 things, if you have a lot of inflammation and you do those 3 things, okay, I guarantee you will see a decrease in your inflammation. If you really do them, if you do them on a daily, regular basis, you will see a decrease in your inflammation. And the great thing about subcellular melatonin is infrared light is available all through every season. Yes, you want to build your melanin through the winter, through the summer months to last you through the winter. Same thing with building up your vitamin D. You want to build that through the spring, summer, and fall to last you all through winter. But melatonin can be made all year round. So that's what we need to focus on when it's wintertime, especially. You want to focus on getting that infrared light, focus on wearing those blue blockers at night, and getting that UVA light in your eyes. And earthing you can do all year round too. So I hope this video was helpful. If you need more support, first of all, check out my content on my YouTube channel, watch, subscribe, leave a comment, ask me questions, engage with me, contact at Bright Light Wellness if you want to send me an email. So you can do that. Then also what you can do is you can work with me, of course. You can follow my podcast, the Quantum Connection Podcast. I give a lot of information there. You can follow me at Bright Light Wellness on Instagram. And you can also catch me at my website, brightlightwellnesscoach.com. I have offerings there for group coaching, which I'm starting soon this September. I have offerings for one-on-one coaching, personalized healthcare plans, which are just amazing in my opinion. And then I also have room for, I have my ebook. So I have the Get Your Right Light ebook and the Ancestral Health Diet ebook. So, and then upcoming, I have some things upcoming, and I have a homeopathy course. So check out all my offerings there, and see which way works for you. What kind of level of support do you need to support your health and your healing? But that's what I do. I help people support their mitochondria health, and I help people heal from a real root cause place and teach them how to use nature as medicine. So I hope that video is helpful, or this video is helpful. And let me know what else you guys need. I'm here for you guys. Have an awesome day. Bye.